In 1984, Dr. John Hagelin, a quantum physicist working with the Institute of Science, Technology, and Public Policy, invited thousands of practitioners of transcendental meditation, or TM, from all over the world to Washington, D.C. Their mission? To conduct an experiment aimed at proving that mass meditation could actually reduce crime in one of the most dangerous cities in the United States at the time. The result? A stunning 23% reduction in crime during the meditation period. Coincidence? Or was something far more extraordinary at play, something that suggests we might have far more control over our reality than we think? Most of us are familiar with simulation theory by now, but here's a quick rundown. What if the very fabric of our reality is governed by rules, coded limits, and invisible algorithms? Just like in a video game, simulation theory, popularized by thinkers like Nick Bostrom, suggests exactly that we are. We might be living in a sophisticated simulation, programmed by an advanced civilization. Consider the speed of light, for instance. It's a universal limit. Nothing can travel faster than light. That's not just a quirk of physics. It's a hard rule, like the frame rate cap in a video game. No matter what you do, you can't exceed it. It's almost like the universe's developers set this limit to keep everything stable, to prevent lag or glitches in the system. Think about it. In a video game, the frame rate controls how fast everything renders. Similarly, the speed of light controls how fast information can move in our universe. And when the rules break, like inside a black hole where light can't escape, it's as if the game itself glitches, bending the laws of physics in ways we can't even comprehend. So, if light is our universe's speed limit, isn't that a clue that some underlying processing is happening, much like in a simulation? Now let's talk about phi, also known as the golden ratio. This isn't just a mathematical curiosity, it's a pattern we see everywhere, from the spirals of galaxies to the curves of seashells, and even in the proportions of the human body. Phi seems to be a fundamental principle that structures our reality. In video games, developers use formulas and algorithms to create realistic landscapes and character models. What if phi is the universe's source code, the algorithm that shapes everything? A sunflower's seeds arrange themselves in a golden ratio spiral, just like hurricanes and galaxies. It's as though the same program renders all of these forms, from the smallest flower to the largest galaxy. It's almost like we've stumbled upon the universe's rendering algorithm, a hidden code that dictates how everything grows, evolves, and fits together. And if there's a code, there might just be a coder. Could this be more evidence that we're living in a simulated world? Let's take this even further, to something you experience every day, the sensation of touch. When you reach out to touch something, whether it's your phone, a cup of coffee, or the keyboard in front of you, what's really happening? At the molecular level, nothing ever truly touches. What actually happens is a dance of electromagnetic forces. When your fingers approach an object, the electrons in the atoms of your skin repel the electrons in the object's atoms. That repulsion is what you feel as touch. And here's the kicker. Once that interaction happens, electromagnetic impulses travel through your nervous system to your brain, where they are interpreted as the experience of touch. From start to finish, the entire process is like data being transmitted and processed by a central computer. You never truly touch anything. Everything you experience is just data. Could this be another clue that reality is more like a simulation than we've ever imagined? Now let's return to 1984 and Dr. Hagelin's fascinating experiment. Dr. Hagelin, a physicist and proponent of transcendental meditation, hypothesized that human consciousness, especially in large collective groups, could influence the environment around us. In other words, our thoughts might have the power to change reality. In Washington, D.C., over 4,000 people gathered to meditate together, focusing on peace and harmony. For weeks, they meditated regularly while crime rates were monitored closely. The result was a drop in crime by an average of 23%, defying the typical summer spike in violent crimes. The implications of this are staggering. Could it be that collective consciousness, when aligned, can alter reality itself? If thousands of people meditating together could reduce crime, what else could human intention accomplish? This experiment is one of the most compelling pieces of evidence suggesting that human thought can directly influence the world around us, as if we're all contributing to a collective input that shapes the simulation we live in. The Maharishi Effect. Bending reality. Dr. Hagelin's experiment is just one example of the Maharishi Effect, the idea that collective meditation can influence large-scale societal trends. Imagine a group of players in a video game teaming up to change the game's environment. That's essentially what's happening in the Maharishi Effect. Similar experiments around the world have shown that collective meditation can lead to measurable improvements in everything, from crime rates to economic stability. It's as if our thoughts, when focused together, are capable of bending the very rules of the simulation, creating ripples in reality that extend far beyond our individual lives. Now let's explore an experiment that dives even deeper into the power of thought, Dr. Masaru Emoto's water experiments. Dr. Emoto, a Japanese researcher, hypothesized that human consciousness, our thoughts, emotions, and even spoken or written words could directly affect the molecular structure of water. In his experiments, water samples were exposed to different stimuli. Some were exposed to positive words like love and gratitude, either spoken aloud or written on labels taped to the containers. Other samples were subjected to negative words like hate or anger. After being frozen, the ice crystals were examined under a microscope. The results were astonishing. Water exposed to positive thoughts and emotions formed beautiful, symmetrical crystals, like snowflakes. Water exposed to negative emotions, on the other hand, formed chaotic, broken, and disordered crystals. The implication? Human thoughts and emotions might be powerful enough to affect matter at the molecular level. Since our bodies are 60% water, and the Earth is 71% water, this suggests that our thoughts could influence the very fabric of life itself. In a simulation, it's as if our thoughts are changing the code, rewriting reality based on our emotions and intentions. Next, let's talk about the placebo effect, one of the most well-documented yet mysterious phenomena in medical science. The placebo effect occurs when a patient experiences real improvement in their condition after receiving a treatment that has no therapeutic value, like a sugar pill or saline injection. The key here is belief. The patient believes they're receiving a real treatment, and somehow that belief alone triggers physical healing. It's as if the mind is hacking the body's own code, reprogramming it based on belief alone. The placebo effect is more than just positive thinking. It's proof that belief can create tangible changes in physical health. This raises a fascinating question. If belief can change our physical reality on a personal level, could collective belief alter reality on a larger scale? In the context of a simulation, the placebo effect is like accessing a hidden console command. With simple belief, we can modify our personal experience within the simulation, bending the rules of reality through sheer intention. Now, let's take this concept even further into the realm of mind-matter interaction, or MMI. MMI refers to the idea that human intention, our thoughts, can influence physical systems. In particular, experiments have been conducted to see whether human thoughts can affect random number generators, or RNGs, which are designed to produce purely random outcomes. In several studies, participants were asked to will the random number generators to produce a certain result. Amazingly, their intentions appeared to influence the outcomes beyond what would be expected by chance. This suggests that human consciousness has the power to affect systems that should be immune to influence, as if we're inputting commands directly into the code of the simulation, altering the way the system behaves. In a video game analogy, it's like our thoughts are the controller, influencing how the game is played. If human intention can truly influence physical systems, it hints at a much larger role for consciousness in shaping reality itself. We can't talk about thought influencing reality without mentioning quantum physics. In quantum mechanics, we see something strange and inexplicable, the observer effect. Simply put, particles behave differently when they are being observed. Electrons act like particles when we watch them, but like waves when we're not looking. The most widely known example of this is the double-slit experiment. It's as if the universe itself is responding to the presence of a conscious observer. Like a video game, that only renders the scenery when the player is looking at it. This suggests that consciousness and observation could be key in determining how reality unfolds. Could the act of observing the universe alter its very behavior? Finally, let's explore how we can take conscious control over the systems we normally think of as automatic in the body. Psychoneuroimmunology, PNI, studies how our thoughts and emotions influence the immune system, while biofeedback and neurofeedback techniques allow us to consciously control functions like heart rate, brain waves, and even stress responses, things we once believed to be purely involuntary. If we can consciously affect our body's systems, what does that say about the power of our minds to influence the simulation at large? It's as if we're discovering that the mind holds the key to bending the rules of the system, tweaking how the simulation operates at the most fundamental level. Now, why should all of this matter to you? If we truly are living in a simulation, and if our thoughts and beliefs can alter that simulation, then the implications are profound. You are not just a passive player in this game, you are a co-creator. Every thought, every intention, and every belief you hold may be shaping your reality in ways you've never imagined. Now, before you start trying to bend spoons with your mind, remember that all of these theories come with their skeptics. Science is about questioning, not just believing. So, if any of these ideas piqued your interest, let me know in the comments, and we can dive deeper into any of these topics in future videos. If you enjoyed this journey into the nature of reality, or if it made you question everything you thought you knew, be sure to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel and ensures you won't miss out on more mind-bending content. Remember, in a simulation, every choice you make matters, so choose wisely.